It's beauty in the struggle and ugliness in the success. That's dope.
Welcome back, guys. Between the Pods, where you come to us when you're waiting for your favorite pods to upload, and you're here. So thank you. Appreciate you once again. Welcome back. I am Caesar, and next to me I have
your boy Jack Jameson.
Here we go. And then Stevie, go ahead and introduce yourself,
my boy.
What's up,
everybody? This is Stevie with I5 Frenchies, Shout out to Caesar for having me on here.
Yes, sir.
Low-key feel famous being on here.
Yes.
Let's go.
So let's talk about it. Let's get juicied up.
You know me, bro. Let's start out with the controversial topic.
Let's do it.
Vato wants to go straight to it.
Let's talk about disciplining children. What's what people think is the right way, the wrong way, how it was then to how it is now.
Fuck.
What do you think about that, disciplining your children, bro?
So to my own personal life story, I grew up getting hit. Mexico? Different lifestyle over there. I did something that they didn't like, bam, fucking cintarazo like that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
And you, eh?
Oh, yeah, no, I got the cinto and the chancla for sure. Yeah. I still get the chancla sometimes from the wifey,
Hey, shout out to the wives.
But now, I feel like nowadays, it's cool, stay away from that. But I feel like sometimes the kids need a little chanclazo, I be seeing kids wilding out at the stores and the parents be like, it's okay.
They'll be like, no, fuck you, mom. And then the mom won't do shit. Like, hooking.
Oh, the American children? Yeah.
Shit. Nah, like me, my mom would same shit, cinto, whatever was in arm's reach, but not like all wild way but like she'd fucking beat my ass. But my dad that fool would never hit me. So like I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I think me and my wife my wife doesn't go down that route. Like she's
like hard discipline.
So when my daughter messes up or lies or gets in trouble, whatever, she sits down. Sometimes they'll talk for like 2 hours she'll just talk, figure out what's the problem, figure out her side of it, how she's feeling, everything. So
it's definitely different times from when we grew up and now our kids are growing up. They definitely have it better, I feel like, but it's different. So I have 4 kids, right?
Damn, my boy be getting it in.
You know what I'm saying?
Metiendo el
palo. Still got it, my boy. Nah. But our first child, I was hard for sure, and you could tell because he's very quiet. He listens. My middle child, that's when my wife decided it's like, oh, let's do the no hitting, no.
The first ones get it the hardest.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because you're still learning as a parent,
And only if you're a boy, you're gonna get it, no matter what. If you're a niña, then that's your princess, that's your baby girl. I feel like the only enemy, well, not really, not trying to bash on the moms, but I feel like the moms don't understand, even though they know because they went through that. They grow up thinking, it's like, come on, you've been through that. You were a little girl, you were a baby, you were the princess of the family.
Remember? Yeah, because you have a daughter, right?
Yeah, I have a daughter. So my daughter, so I feel like I'm more on the harder side of my daughter. I don't spank her. I spanked her before, but I really don't because my girl gets hella mad. But, so my girl, she tries to do more of the talking, like how your wife does with her daughter. So my girl will go hey, everything's okay. With you can't always get this, you can't always get that, which is fine, But sometimes I do feel like kids do need a little nalgada because you talk to them and then 10 minutes later they're doing the same shit. Which I'm not saying, abuse is not okay. I'm not saying going and hitting them hella hard. Little nalgadita, hey, cálmate, that's it. But
snap them back to reality a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel now with TikTok and everything going on, they see on TikTok, the parents on TikTok are doing a whole different shit. Oh, calm down. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then they get off TikTok and they're metiendo las pinches chancladas.
Yeah.
So, but
yes, I feel that.
I feel like talking is, you do got to talk first. Try to calm them down with talking. But sometimes if they keep wilding out,
sometimes with the cinto,
yeah, give them a little nalgada, and if that doesn't work, then ground them. They're these kids nowadays without their tablets, without that, man, they'll go crazy. They're little crack fiends for tablets.
I know.
Take away the tablet for a day, and they're gonna change.
That's true, man. Because that's one of the things that we did with my daughter when she got in trouble. My wife was like, "Give me the tablet, give me the phone." You know, pretty much give me everything. And then after that, she was like, well, fuck, what am I going to do now? I don't have nothing to get on, you know?
And that I think that'll hurt them more. That's why we don't spank our daughter. Like, taking away her tablet kind of proves a point right there, you know? Without the tablet, it's hard for them to have a good day. So, I mean, just kind of like doing that, taking away stuff they enjoy, it kind of hurts more than that. Cause like getting spanked and shit, I feel like that's like a lot like the old ways, like how my dad used to do it. My dad used to spank me, you know. My mom used to spank me too and shit. But I feel like I still would like rebel and do like, I still would go and get suspended at school. Like, that shit wouldn't really like, it wouldn't really calm me down, honestly. The things that would calm me down more was when they would tell me, oh, I'm disappointed in you. They were like, you know, with those words and shit. So sometimes spanking is cool, but...
So talking about that, like, your parents saying, I'm disappointed.
That shit would hurt more, you know?
Like, back then, when they said it, you didn't really think about it, but now it's like, fuck.
Yeah, like, damn, I was really fucking up, you know?
Like, the throw was really be hitting for real.
But yeah, I mean, everyone has the right as a parent to discipline the kids there are. You know, it's fine to make a little nalgada as long as you guys don't overdo it, but, I mean, just find ways that work, because, like, you only get one chance at raising that kid. You know, kids can really like...
Yeah, let's say truer words have never been spoken there.
But you only get one chance at raising your kid. So if you don't raise that kid right, you know, don't be surprised when he's out there smoking dope or doing something, you know what I mean? Hey, you should have been a little harder, you know?
Yeah, and that's... Heck yeah.
Yeah, fucking... So what about going back to like what you said earlier, like about... Do you guys think there's a difference with the way girls and boys get treated?
Oh, for sure, for sure. For sure the boys have it tougher. The girls, my little daughter, she's our little princess, so she has it good. I know if we had a boy, I'd be tougher on him too, you know?
Yeah, because I know, speaking like personally, like my son is a newborn, but my daughter, she's 13 and like my wife always tells me like, you're too easy on her. Like, you can't let her get away with all this stuff. And like with me, it's like she's my only daughter. The oldest way, she's like, you know what I mean? That's just like you say, way. She's like the princess way in the family. So like I always like, I have a real soft spot for her. So I don't know if it's gonna be any different with my son or, you know, but I know definitely in some like your case, you know.
Yeah, I have 4 boys and a baby girl. Dude. Yeah. So
the baby girl's the queen, the princess of the house. She live in VIP for sure.
I knew nothing but boys. I knew. Well, I guess I want to say I knew how to raise them because I'm a boy. I was a boy. I'm a man, whatever. So I know what I am. I'm a male, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, I know how that works. Like, tough love, for me, that's what I feel like is right. Because if you grow up on tough love, then you're going to know from right and wrong. Or like either it's going to make you, it's going to break you. And I feel like for my boys, I had to be more on them, like, oh, you're gonna do this or you're gonna do that. Like, you're not typically saying obey me, but listen. And then when they were babies, right, like 1, 2, 3, I was hard. Like I said with my first boy, I was hard. And you could tell the difference between my first or second boy. Second, you know how they say the middle child is always the freaking like el diablo. You know what I'm saying? The rebel. And, dude, that's what I got. That's what we got at home. He's got Daredevil. Me saca.
The white hairs?
Las canas. So I was like, fuck. But my baby girl, I treat her good because I know how women say, oh, equality, blah, blah, blah. And that's how I want my daughter to grow up as like.
No, yeah, for sure.
Be yourself, be strong, because if we don't do it as a parent, then nobody will.
Yeah, and that's one thing too, like, because when my daughter was smaller, like, she's barely 4 right now, but when she was like 2, 3, like, we'd baby her for everything, you know? Ven pa' acá, like, we're just babying her. And I got to the point, I told my wife, like, you know what, we got to start showing her how to be independent, you know?
Yep.
That way, like, when she grows up, she don't have to depend on no man. She don't have to depend on anybody, because, you know, life's shorter. Like, shit could happen to me and my wife, you know? Yeah. Like, it's just, that's life, you know? You don't know how long you're going to be here for. So I feel like for sure, like, we do baby the girls way more. And they gotta. I mean, it's cool, you know, to do it at a certain time. But when they reach an age, you gotta kind of show them how to be independent. That way, like Biggie says, you know, give my daughter this college plan. That way, she don't need no man, you know.
That way. Hey, Stevie says she's 4, bro. She gotta pay bills now. Like,
hey, for real, bro. And it's funny because sometimes she'll be right there watching us wash dishes, and I'm like, come Come here, mommy, let me show you. And she'll be right there.
that's the
telling
thing,
you know?
Yeah, that's good though. Hey,
you know?
that's good though, dude. Like things like that, like those are life lessons.
Yeah, just
like,
showing little shit, you know, so she could like, she could know, you know, like, all right, you know, if I make a mess, like sometimes we'll get their little rag and she'll just go into her. She's playing, but in her mind, like she's learning, you know, she drops something, she goes and cleans it, you know, like little shit, you know.
That's another thing that I could tell from the boys and my baby girl, that she's honest. Like, oh, Dad, can I do this? Can I do that? Can I help you? I was like, I help you. Let me help you.
Yep.
Like on anything. I'm like, and then my first reaction was like, no, back up, like, cause she's a girl. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm telling, oh, I got it. But then I'm like, wait, she wants to do it. I'm gonna let her try it at least. Cause they're all curious. I'm still learning. I'm 31 years old. I'm still trying to be better with my kids.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I feel like you're always, as a parent, as anything in life, bro, you can never stop learning, you know, whether it's being a parent, whether it's like, it's either like a hustle you got, whatever you got, bro, you can never stop learning. And if you're in sports, you always got to learn to get better, you know? Because, I mean, you got 4 right now, but the rate you're going, you might have 8 soon, you know?
Nah, we're done.
You might have a little football team, you know, so you got to just keep getting better and better.
Just a basketball team, that's it.
Basketball, hey, that's cool. You need one more then.
Nah. Yeah, that's true, way fucking. The moment you stop learning, way, that's when you stop growing, way. Because that's a big problem with people nowadays. They're like, fucking know it all, bro. You know, hey, if you know everything, that's it. You can't grow anymore. You can't learn anything no more.
Hey, exactly. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. Like me, I'm doing Frenchies. I'm always trying to learn like more about how to make a dog better, how to produce better dogs. So I'm always trying to learn, bro. And I feel like when you close your mind to think you know it all, like, that shit is gonna slow you down from growth. It's gonna slow you down from expanding your brand. Like you gotta keep learning. You gotta keep growing. You know, don't. One thing that one of my successful friends told me, shout out the homie.
Shout out to him.
I don't want to say his name. Shout out the homie Jag. He told me, man, one thing in life, you can never get comfortable. Once you get comfortable, you're gonna stop growing. You know, you gotta always want more. Always gotta want more for you. Gotta want more for your family. Because if you don't want more, how are they ever gonna get the life they deserve? You know, so don't ever get too comfortable.
All right, so I think that's one thing that. Oh, go ahead, Caesar. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's the reason why I changed my profession. Yeah. Because I felt like I was stuck. I wasn't learning because every day was just a repeat. Like, oh, I would do the same thing every day. Yeah. And me turning 30, it hit me. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting old, yo. Like, I need to learn more. I need to do different things. So, now this profession that we got, it's definitely a challenge, bro. Every day it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
You gotta adapt. You gotta fucking adapt, bro.
Yeah, you like to say, you know, you gotta adapt or die. You know, like in this shit that I am, because I have my normal job. You know,
guys, he said adapt or die. He gave you 2 options.
So
it's right or die.
I don't mean it like that, but like you like
tough love.
Yeah, so like I have my little Frenching business. Like, you got to either adapt or you're going to die. Your brand's going to die. So if you just stick to what you're doing and you're not trying to do better shit, like, your shit's going to die off, you know? Like, whether in anything you are, like, you got to adapt to whatever's going on, you know, whatever's going on with society. Like, I feel like a lot of the older people, they're so comfortable with what they're doing that they don't want to adapt. They're like, fuck that, you know? That's going to, like, nah, you got to give it a shot, you know? You never know that little different shit you do might change your life, might change your family's life. So, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Constantly adapting, bro. Fucking adapting to your environment, because environment is always changing, bro, nonstop. So,
and that's the thing with these kids. Like we say they have it easy, but at the same time, with the world now, technology and shit, it's like you say, they have to adapt. If not, you're gonna get left behind. Yeah. You're not gonna know what to do, especially with everything getting complex every day with everything.
Yep.
With with AI, with computers, with robots, with self-driving trucks, cars, flying cars, flying motorcycles.
And that's crazy you say that, bro, because like I know a lot of people, because I even felt like that a lot. Like, these kids nowadays like have it way easier, because when we were growing up, it was different. Like, I was in the asadón. I was working in the fields when I was 14, you know, just to get some extra money to buy myself a little video game, you know?
Yes, sir.
But the thing is, too, that these kids might even have it harder than us in the long term, because, shit, half of the jobs might have robots and shit working in the warehouses. They might not even have it like that. Like us, you fucking drop out of school, whatever, whatever you do, there's little warehouse jobs all the time, you know? But like these kids growing up, they're gonna for sure have to study. They're gonna for sure have to get a career because it's gonna be hard to find like a little lower class job because these robots are gonna take over and shit. You know, they're already fucking taking over a lot of jobs.
And the way things are going now, we just feel bad, dude.
Yep.
Like we love our kids. I can say that for all of us.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, bro, like it's hard for us now. Imagine just in a few more years, in 5 years, in 10 years, bro.
Hey, for sure, I feel that right there. It's like now, shit's hard, you know. So you gotta really. That's why it's cool to work, but you gotta always have like a little side hustle, you know, because
definitely
something that's gonna really try to bring you more income for you and your family. Because it's hard just to work a normal drive and survive right now, man. Like everything's so expensive. Little fucking bag of chips are fucking $2.49. I used to get them 99 cents, you know, back in the day. Gummy bears up 1 penny for a gummy bear. You get those shits for a fucking little packet for $1 something for like 10 gummy bears. Like, imagine when our kids grow up, they're gonna probably be buying chips for like $5 for a small bag. Like it's ridiculous.
And since you said all that everything's just blowing out of proportion with the prices, man, fast food restaurants, like it's fast food, whatever, but bring the dollar menu back, bro.
Hey, for real, man. They're calling it a dollar menu. That's just a $1.99 menu now, man.
Come on, McDonald's.
Or like
the Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree's $1.25 now.
It's like
change the name.
Dollar Tree's $1.25. Family Dollar ain't never been $1, bro.
I know.
This Dollar General, come on, bro. You gotta stop playing with these fucking.
Stop capping. So $2 General.
The Dollar Tree for me is just the tree store.
Yep.
That's it.
The $1.25 tree. Probably even more now. I haven't been there in a while. Probably $1.50 tree now. You know, change the name if you guys ain't gonna stick true to it. You know, stop calling it that shit. That's false advertising. We're going in there with $1 and we can't even get nothing.
Yeah, so talking about money, let me talk about our people or Latinos struggling out there. The hot dogs stands.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
How they're selling the
vendors.
The vendors, they're selling their hot dogs to $10 a hot dog. How do you feel about that?
Shit, wait, it depends, cause like
damn, $10 a hot dog?
I see like people like selling the elotes, right? And they'll be in the hood way, and the elotes will be fucking cheap. Cause like, let's be real, a lot of these people go to work in the fields, or they know someone that works in the fields, and they get the hookup on the elotes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So no matter what, they're making their money. No matter what they sell them for, they're gonna make a profit. So I noticed in the hood, like the elotes, the raspados, they're still hella cheap. But like over here in Clovis, these people come to Clovis and it's like taxed, everything. Elotes, raspados, everything. It's taxed, hella taxed, and because they know where they're at. You know, they know they could. There's people with more income and they get them for more money right here. You know,
that's facts for sure.
So I think it's like it's their hustle, bro. They know where they're at and what they got to do to. Because I've seen people where it's like you ask them how much and they're like, oh, it's this much, and you're like, oh, never mind, I'll just get this, and they'll be like, oh, how much you have? All right, here, fuck it, just give me that, you know? Because they're still making a profit with it.
Yeah.
That's facts. It's always the area too, you know, like even with housing and shit, you go to the hood to get yourself a nice house for the low, you know, but if you want to go to a little good areas and run you a little more, so that's how it is too with like the people selling raspados and shit. They're gonna go tax in the good area, you know. Well, and honestly, me, I rather support someone selling elotes out on the street, you know, to support our people out here than go to a fucking expensive ass restaurant and pay the same price or double, you know. I would like go support the homies out there on the streets, you know, selling this shit, trying to make a living, because you got to respect the grind. You got to respect the hustle. There's people selling, like, the ones that sell flowers and all that shit. It be raining, and they're selling that shit. You know, you gotta, like, man, people that have that hustle, man, it's fucking amazing. That shit motivates me, you know, like, rain or shine, they're going to grind, and that's what you got to really do. Like, can't let nothing stop your hustle.
Like you said,
you know?
It's either that or die. So,
adapt or die, you know, you got to keep grinding.
And that's what I love about, like, our people, that there's no limit. They're always finding a way. Yeah. They're always finding. It's like, oh, if we can't sell this, we'll sell that. Oh, and then just as much as shout out to our people or Latinos, man, the Indian people way.
Oh, yep.
I'm not trying to switch it up, but I'm like, dude.
Oh, yeah, Uffles be hustling, bro.
I'm like, bro.
Uffles got to hustle.
I don't know if you, like, Oakhurst, the mountains, like, mostly white people, everything is, like, not Indian-owned. The Caesar's, the breakfast place. Yeah. A lot of these places, like, for everywhere, the mountains in the city, whatever, like, the Indians are.
It's like there's okay, like I'm not trying to bash on the Indian people. Controversy, here.
You didn't cancel.
Brace yourself. No, like I love how they just. I'm gonna start with saying like how they expand their stuff. Truckers, business.
Yep.
Freaking right now.
Trappers. They be trapping, bro.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
yes,
bro.
sir.
Hey, shout out, they be trapping too, bro. They taking over all. You guys better step it up and go get some better shit because they taking over everything.
Yeah,
I think all they're missing is a podcast.
Yep, for real. Hey, they're gonna probably be in that shit soon too.
No, but down in Dinuba, they open a new spot. Shout out to the food spot. It's called the Capital Grill.
Yep. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I didn't try it, but I was there, doing my thing, But I was like, damn, bro, like, fuck.
Uh-huh.
Like, shout out to the Indian
bro,
people, that's all I'm fucking saying. Shout out to the Indian people. Fuck it.
Honestly, because I seen them opening they open up even like Mexican spots and shit. But like, man, it's funny to me, like.
Avenel? Yeah, wait.
Hey, shout out the little homie right here, Austin, special guest. Say what's up. Because I heard you guys talking about kids, man. I have to pull up real quick.
I gotta stand.
Make sure you guys put some respect on my name.
Nah, wait, but
oh, trio, y'all.
Trio, y'all put some respect on my name.
Nah, but yeah, dude, fucking like that's true. I see. I bet now that you mentioned like the markets, all the Mexican markets, Mexican groceries, Mexican carnicerias, like Indian owned.
Yeah, they honestly, the Indians, bro, their hustle. The thing about Indian people, bro, that they stick together,
Yeah.
And I feel like in a lot of other races, like us Mexicans, all other minorities, they don't we don't really stick together like that, like.
Yeah, we're like not to be calling anybody out, but like. Anyway, like you see a lot of these people that own Mexican restaurants, right? Mexicans owning Mexican restaurants or doing things for themselves. What's the first thing they go get with? A big ass fucking lifted truck, way. A big ass lifted 2023 Chevy Silverado HD. You know what I mean? They redo their whole fucking house. Like
I know they fucking buy an Escalade they can't even afford.
But Lambo doors on that shit was fucking spinning rims.
But like that's a hate on anybody, bro. You know what I mean? Hey, if you got it, that's what you want to do, whatever. But I'm just saying the Indian people, they don't do that shit, way.
Nah, hell no. They're going to invest
see
that shit.
These fools will be rocking the same fucking polo shirt they had from day one.
On some chanclas too.
See, wait.
The
And then after they got their 5 businesses with all their family taking care of and everything, then you'll see them. They pull up in the brand new Mercedes. And not even that, they'll pull up in the Toyota. You know what I mean? Like, they know how to invest their money, dude.
On the Toyota Corolla?
Yeah, wait.
Yes,
but
sir.
honestly, I feel like that comes back down to our roots, like us as minorities and shit. Like my parents never really knew about like investing in stocks.
Yeah,
they didn't know about investing. All my dad knew was going to work, paying the bills, and coming home. He didn't know none of that other shit. So I feel like we weren't raised like how the Indian people are raising their kids. Like, hey, save your money, invest it into a store, open 2 liquor stores, and that's something that our generation got to change. So like my daughter, I want her sure, like, yeah, of course I want her to go to school, get her degree, but there's so much more like you can do with in life. Like you can invest and start your own business and make more money than someone that got a 4-year degree. Like you just got to have the right mindset, got to have the right hustle and echarle ganas, go hard and shit. Cause like our parents didn't teach us, but we can teach our kids, there's much more out there, so just put your mind to it and just fucking dream big, cause everything's possible, bro. You just got to dream big. If you dream small, then you're always going to be small. But if you dream big, you're going to eventually do something big, So that's something that the Indians do, bro. They fucking have big goals and big dreams, and they fucking make that shit happen. That's why they're running Fresno everywhere. They have their stores everywhere.
Fuck no.
They're everywhere,
Not just Fresno, bro.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Them motherfuckers even in Mexico. They're out there. They made a way out there.
Might as well be. Shit.
Don't worry, bro. I'll wait.
So
hey, we'll wait for you. Take your time with it. We'll take your time.
So yeah, okay. So let's talk about it. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. All
right. So what do you think about that? Cause I watched the Chupapi Muñeño guy. I think it's funny as fuck, dude. I think that was fucking funny. And then but I just think sometimes he does shit that's a little bit too far away. Like some people, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just wonder is there some pranks that are going too far nowadays?
I feel like the guy that goes to, I guess, I want to say the ghetto, for the lack of a better
Damn, you're bougie.
word. and where the guy goes and is like, "Well, you want some?" Or like,
like,
what is it?
Yeah, you want some beef?
You want some beef? Or
and then you'll pull out the beef.
you want to bang? You want to bang?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like,
Oh,
it's
he pulls
funny
out
the first
bang,
couple of videos, but then like, it's like, dude, that,
Some of the fools deserve to get their ass beat.
Yeah.
Man.
and that's not even that.
Yeah, man.
A lot of kids are watching that stuff because
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
that's true.
the top audience is little kids,
Yeah.
and they're over here thinking, "Oh, that's funny. I could do it too."
Yeah.
And you know
And-
what? That's right, bro. They can actually think it's okay to do that shit and try it themselves, and then end up getting fucking their ass beat, or even worse, getting you know,
Yeah.
getting killed, bro.
And to be honest, I'm pretty sure 90% of those videos, they're fake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the
like the
the
scripted-
gangsters, yeah.
Yeah, the people are
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do this video.
she
Just know,
$50 if you just play along with
yeah,
it.
Yep.
act like you don't know and blah blah, and just go with it. Act like you're gonna beat me up or whatever."
So what about like the one that's like, because there's one that I seen that I didn't like personally. Me, I didn't like it, but the parents, they go to the kid and they're like, "Hey, the neighbor wants to fight me," and they're put your shoes on so you can go fight their kid.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I thought that
was
that's-
funny. That was funny to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
At first, like I said, like the first a couple of videos,
Yeah.
they're funny.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, like imagine like
I didn't like that, bro. Because
No?
to me, it's like you see some of the little kids way, and they get scared way. They're like, "What?" Like, because they don't want to
Oh,
fight.
yeah,
way, you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like you can see it in the kid's face, and then the parents just laugh way. And like to me, that's not funny, bro. Like you shouldn't scare your kids like that way. You know,
Yeah,
some of the kids are down way. They're like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do
that's
this
what I'm
shit."
saying.
Yeah.
Like, damn, kids,
But-
little badass over
But
here.
still, you also teach you to like, hey,
Yeah, it's
if
like-
somebody fights or your friend gets into a fight, you go back them up and fight the other person. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
that's
me.
fact, because you're teaching them how to you're teaching them violence and shit, you know.
Yeah.
True.
So there's like some kids and shit that I see. Like I have some homies that while I'm from San Joaquin, you know, I'm from a little town. It's, you know, it has some little, you know, it's a little
What is
active
it, like
and
30
shit, you know?
minutes away from here?
Yeah, like 30, 40 minutes away,
Yeah.
you know. And like I had little homies that were into that type of shit. And there's some of their kids and shit that grow up, they're already throwing up gang signs and shit.
Yeah.
And to them, it's funny, you know. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this fool. You know, he's out throwing up gang signs at 3, 4 years old. And in my mind, I'm like, when I was younger, I thought it was funny. But now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, that little kid's just going to probably grow up,
Yeah.
throw his
with
life
that
away
shit.
because he thought it was cool seeing his
Yeah.
dad and shit, you know,
Yeah.
which, I mean, like I said, when I was young, I thought it was funny too and shit. Like, I would teach my little nephews how to cuss. I'd be like, say fuck you. And they would say, and I'll be laughing and shit. But now that I got a daughter, I'll be telling my wife, like, we got to watch our mouth around her. You know, like, I don't want her to be talking like that and shit.
Yeah.
Now you're like, hey, you
Yeah.
better.
But
don't
he's
be
like,
saying,
hold up, press the brakes. No, but it's
Yeah.
true because like, and that's a thing on like the Mexican household where they're like, oh, saying like it's funny to have kids saying bad words
Yep.
like chinga tu madre,
Yeah,
oh,
they'll be like,
puto.
yeah, go tell your tío, tu madre. Go
Yeah.
tell him. There you go.
Which is funny at the moment, but it's also like it's very, I want to say toxic from like from the
Yep.
grown-ups.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and
Well-
it's my bad to cut you off.
no,
Yeah,
you're good.
It's just something that we gotta like just like once you have your own kids, you're like, oh yeah, I don't want my kid to talk like that. But
It's
when it's not your
different,
kid, it's
man.
funny to you, you know, like
Yep.
it's funny. But
So as a parent, how lenient are you guys with cuss words?
well, my daughter's only 4, so she don't really say any cuss words yet. But
She hasn't learned
I know
it.
it's bound to happen. you
What
know?
about like since your daughter's 4, for example, right? She's not at the age where she's like cussing, but how often does she hear it? Way like you, like what?
Nah, we try not to really cuss in front of her, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard, bro. Sometimes it slips out. I'll be like, "Fuck, man," and like,
Yeah.
and like I try not to. My girl had to check me, like, "Hey, like, you know, like, relax, you know, don't cuss in front of her." But I mean, yeah, I try. She hears it, you know. We
Yeah.
cuss and shit, but we just try to keep her away
She
from
hasn't
it.
learned
But
it.
then she
Yeah.
knows, right, that they're bad words.
Oh
and
no,
she's not
she
supposed
knows.
to
Yeah,
say
for
them.
sure she knows. But we just try not to as much.
True.
'Cause like I said, I don't want her to think it's okay to say them. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually she's gonna say them. Like it's, you know, every little kid once they start learning them, they're gonna be like, hey, you guys heard this word before, and it's cool. But as right now, we're trying to keep that shit controlled. You know.
And you?
No, yeah, we don't cuss really with around the kids. We try not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know it's same like
Yeah.
with you. It's like we're trying to make.
So whenever they cuss and you catch them, like there's
we tell them, you know, that's a bad word, right? And then they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, just don't say it again. Like at home, we try to give them as much like freedom as we can.
Yeah.
Just like but there's like a line we draw, you know. Like,
yeah, cause see, look, so our like for me personally, my example would be like, I cuss way too much, bro. Like I fucking with my bosses at work, with my kids at home, with my wife. And I'm never cussing at people, like calling people a bitch or nothing like that. But I do cuss a lot. I don't know. That shit just comes out, right? So like, so.
Fuck.
Yeah, so with
South Park.
so with my daughter, it's like I always tried not to cuss, but it would just come out, like, you know. And then like we talk about all three of us, me, her, and my wife, and we're always talking about how like we know that she cusses. Like we're not dumb, you know. I was fucking 13 years old too. Like I know damn well she cusses if it's not in front of us, behind our backs, you know. So like we talk about her, we talk about that with her, but we pretty much let it be known like there's a time and a place for everything. Yes, you know what I mean? And she knows that you don't go to school in front of your teachers and be cussing up a storm, you know what I mean? Or go meet somebody new, we introduce you to a member of the family, and you go, and my daughter's real good with that. She's not like, she goes to my family, right? My mom, whatever, and she's not cussing or anything. Even with us, she's not cussing, but we know behind her back she does.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
She's 13 though, so that's a different story. You know, she's a little bit older. She already.
I mean, just remember when you were 13, middle school.
Suspended and shit.
You guys were wilding, I'm sure.
Nah, I was a good kid, bro.
You were wilding.
I was a good kid, bro. Until like 17.
You're like, good kid. Dude. I had a straight A's, straight B's.
I was 13. I remember my mom said they built a pizza. I lived in Orange Cove, small fucking town. She was like, they built a pizza planet, and I remember fucking she said, don't go to the Pizza Planet till I get off of work. Here's money to order the pizza. But they had like the air hockey and the arcade games and all that shit. And I convinced my two brothers to come with me, and we walked to Pizza Planet and got pizza and played the games and came back home.
And
parents, I remember for
they did a good job.
I remember for a while, bro, for like 2 years, I was like, fuck, that was the most ruthless thing I had ever done in my life, bro. That's how good of a kid I was, bro. You know, hey, but that when I was younger.
Yeah, when I was 13, I was already fucking trying pot and shit, fucking getting suspended. Yeah, bro, I was a little. That's because we grew up in a little ass town. There wasn't nothing to do, you know. And like now as a grown up, I think like I did some really stupid shit that I regret. You know, like I should have took school more seriously. Like to me back then as a kid, like getting suspended, getting in trouble, like it was funny to me, you know. Yeah. But like now that it's kind of good in a way too that I learned that experience. That way I can teach my daughter not to do that shit, you know, like because my parents would get me in trouble, but they never, like my mom fucking only made it to 3rd grade, you know. Yeah. It's Mexican. That's just how it was back in Mexico. They didn't really have a chance to go to school. All their job was to get money to try to like feed themselves, you know. So like they would discipline me, but they wouldn't really talk to me like how important school was, you know, because they didn't really know. Yeah, they didn't have education.
To them, it was pretty much have fun until you're old enough to work.
Yep, exactly. So like now that we have the experience, like I'm glad I went through all that experience because it made me the man I am. So now I can teach my daughter, like I'm hoping she never goes down that road where she's making those mistakes. But if she ever does, like I made some of those mistakes. You know, I smoked a little bit of pot here and there, some weed. You know, I used to get drunk. I used to like to party, and I learned from that. So I can teach her about that.
Well, hold on. Well, before I get to mine, it's like, fuck, I lost it. But that's all. That's experience, though. You have to experience all of that.
Yeah. So it's like at least now if she makes that mistake, like I can actually have a deep conversation with her. What that type's life's gonna bring. You know, because I have friends that are still strung out on drugs. They had a bright future. I used to play football with them. They were good students, and they just kept spun and
threw their life away.
Yeah, like, and it's sad, you know. Like, I got a lot of homies that never made it out of that, and that's something because you never know, bro. Like, our kids are our kids, but like they might go through that one day. You never know, like what these kids can do. Especially now, there's so much drugs out there. These kids have a ton of drugs nowadays. You know, compared to what we had back then. Yeah, weed was a big thing. You know, now weed ain't nothing.
We had the regular natural stuff. Now these kids have all the mixed in whatever.
Everything. So like, I mean, it's good in a way that you do experience it. That way you can kind of talk to the other, like, hey, you know, like your kid, like, hey, I done that before. You know, like,
hey, now they got flavors. The only flavor we had was purple kush. That was it.
Everything.
Orange kush. Oh.
It was either Premium or Purple Kush, bro. There was no fucking in between.
Skittle, Rascal, whatever.
They have pulparitos made out of. They have hot Cheetos made out of like THC. Everything like damn.
Well, yeah, anything nowadays. Yeah. You can just like, I want the high, but without feeling the high.
Yeah. So I mean, like going back to it, like it's cool, like all the stuff that we've been through. Because I'm pretty sure we all done shit growing up. Like you can teach that to your kids, and like going back to the cuss words, they're eventually gonna be cussing and all that. But like you said, like you're able to control, like know when to cuss. You know, not at school, not at class. Yeah. When you're out on break talking with your friends, you can throw a little cuss word here and there. But yeah, knowing when to cuss, because when you do get out in the real world and like say you have a job interview, and if you're so accustomed to talking and you're in the job interview cussing and shit, these fools ain't gonna hire you. Yeah. They'll be like, hell no, I'm gonna hire this guy. He's so unprofessional. You know, it gets to the point when you get older that you need to be kind of professional the way you talk at certain places, you know?
Yeah, because see, in my interview with the company and everything, like before I turned white for that interview, I turned white, my boy. I was like proper.
For this one?
Yeah, they gave me like a quick interview, like with Cali and some other so I turned white way. I was all proper and everything, you know.
That's wild.
As soon as they gave me the job, I was like, all right, yeah, fuck it, nah, thanks, good looking out.
So how was your interview?
It was cool. I was just me, bro. I get nervous in the
don't lie. Did you turn white, bro?
Yeah,
you turned white. Yeah.
So me, bro. I like with interviews, bro. Like I don't know. It's like I'm not good at interviews. Like with jobs and shit. Like I always struggle. Like I don't know why. And like me, like. I'm good at talking to people like with you guys. I'm cool with like it's natural, but when it comes to like interviews, I feel like I feel like it's the cops, bro, trying to like ask me questions like they're cops and shit. So I get nervous, bro. I'll be all sweating and shit.
Next time you go to interview, just be like, hey, can we do it in the podcast?
Bro, just on the podcast, man.
It'll turn out way better. I promise you.
Yeah. But going back to some of the shit that we're talking about, I feel like that was a good subject. So shit that you done in the past and shit, do you regret a lot of this shit, or do you like it that it kind of made you the person you are?
Nah, way. I've been arrested, I've been in jail, I've been through a lot of shit, and I feel like I would have been so much farther in my life if I didn't do that shit. I feel like it set me back or left me stuck in one place, way. And I feel like it was like, at the time, growing up, I'm like, oh, it's because my parents this and my parents that, and my parents weren't there. And you look for anything to blame. Yeah. When in the reality was everything bad that happened in my life was from my own decision, and I had to deal with the consequences. You know, and I'm able to look back at it now. And the reason I say this, because I don't talk about it a lot, but the reason I say this is if maybe there's someone watching that needs to hear this shit, you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like everything that's held me back was my own doing, you know. But I feel like I would have been so much farther in my life. Like, don't get me wrong, bro. Like right now, I'm married. I have a daughter. I have a son. We have our home. Like I have a good job, dude. I love life right now. Like I've never been fucking happier, you know, with life. But I feel like I would have been so much farther, like financially with credit, whatever it may be, but I would have, you know, I feel
could have
like
been
a lot of the things, like touching your question, a lot of the things that I did, I definitely regret. I wish I would have never even gone down those fucking paths, bro, because sometimes it's a one-way street, you know, there is no, oh, well, I just flip a UE halfway, like, nah, once you take that road, you gotta fucking see it through, you know?
Yeah, to me, I don't give, nah, just kidding, to me, it's like
you look
the
around,
way,
nah. What do you see?
No fucks given, bro. Nah, but on some serious note, to me, when like it's like you said, what'd you say? What was the question again? My bad.
Like, do you regret like doing shit from the past, or do you like take it as like a lesson type of stuff? You know, made you the man you are now.
Yeah. So to me, it was like I always ask like myself and a few people, is like, so when you look back, do you regret what you did? And to me, it's like, if I look back, I can't regret anything. I can't, because at that moment I wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do it, like, and that's on everything. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this bad bitch. So I'm like, fuck yeah. Even though I got fucked over.
The wifeys are listening. Close your ears. Close your ears.
Even though I got fucked over because of that. So it's like, you know what? Like, I can't well, if I had a chance, will I redo it and change a couple things?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'll go back and change a few things.
But
And maybe relive other stuff too. That's for a second.
But the reality is that
you
can't. But
that's how I see your point. I see,
like me, there's a lot of shit. Like, cause I grew up. Like I said, I grew up in the hood. Shout out all the homies in San Joaquin. Much love. But like, there's a lot of shit that I did. Like you said, at the time, I wanted to do it, but like, it did hold me back a lot too from shit that I could have done. But one thing that going through all the shit, cause I done some out of his shit growing up, and it made me who I am now. Like I'm not saying I'm the hardest worker, but I'm like I work, try to provide my family with a better future. Like I feel like I'm like a good father because I know a lot of people that ain't even there for their kids, and have the chance to be there and they're not there. Like everything I do is to give my wife and give my daughter a better life. And my parents, try to help them out. And I feel like if I wouldn't gone through some of those struggles and shit, then I probably wouldn't be like this. I wouldn't think like that, because that shit showed me, bro. Like I've been to situations where I didn't have nothing, I've been through that shit. We didn't have nothing, and you had to hustle. You have to hustle to survive, to help out, and like I feel like that just kind of like just made me a better person, So I do regret it, and somehow because I've done some stupid shit, but in a way, no, because like it made me who the fuck I am now, and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still trying to better myself, but. I mean, life's a blessing. Take it as a lesson because life's a blessing, So every loss you've taken, don't take it as a loss. Take it as a blessing because that shit, it opened the doors for so much more stuff. Once you take that loss, you're not going to want to do that shit again, especially if your mind's grown and you have that growth. You're not going to want to go through that shit again. You already learned, so you're just going to keep moving forward and shit.
And it's also tough growing up on little towns like that.
For there ain't nothing to do, bro, but fucking shit. Get high and fucking drink up. There ain't shit to do.
Yeah, so
and play games, play some video games.
It's tough because like we go to different cities and little towns here and there, and then just like Fresno, they say it's a small city, but it's still big enough to where you have things to do, but yet people still can't find something to get their minds off the bad bad habits. Yeah,
because like I came from Orange Cove, fucking same shit, small town, like 40 minutes away. So to me, I'd come to Fresno on the weekends, and it was like, to me, I seen it as a big ass city, there's so much shit to do out here, like. But people from Fresno, they were like, it's fucking boring here, we want to go somewhere else, So like,
people drive.
Yeah.
People drive just for the weekend.
Yeah.
They're even to work over here.
Yeah.
From
fucking Kerman.
Really.
Well, that's why I moved from San Joaquin, because I had to drive like 45 minutes all the time to my job over here. So it was just kind of hectic. It would be all foggy, and you would still have to take that 45-minute drive over here, then back. So that's why I moved out here, But Fresno was a big city compared to where I'm from. There's like 10,000 people that live in my town that I'm from. So Fresno's over here like 300,000 or 500,000. I'm not sure, but it's a big ass city. That shit ain't small.
And real quick, just before we change the subject or anything, like back to what you were saying, is that about like, a lot of shit that you've done or in the past that you regretted or not. Something that always stuck with me, that fucking my dad told my brother, and my brother told me this. My younger brother told me this shit when we were fucking kids, but it stuck with me. He said, don't trip too much off the bad stuff that happens, because if bad things didn't happen, how would you know what are the good things in life? You know what I mean?
Hey, that's fire.
And like that shit stuck with me. It's more of a trip because it's my younger brother that's telling me this shit. And to me, at the time it was knowledge, bro, and it was like, if only good things happen in your life, you know what I mean? Like, how do you know? Like, if bad things don't happen to you, how do you know what's good in life? You know what I mean? Bro. Like, without bad, there wouldn't be good. Without dark, there wouldn't be light. You know what I mean? Yep. So
it's like the one saying, they say, what's a sunny day without a little rain or something like that? Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it goes, but
it doesn't go like that. But it sounded good to me.
It sounded good, bro. That's just good. It'll slide, bro. It'll pass.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. That's dope. What your little brother said is crazy. Like, he's your younger brother and he has some knowledge like that. And I feel like I'm like that too with one of my older brothers. Like I be motivating him, and he'll be tripping out on me too and shit. That's dope.
But yeah, bro, fucking.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, like right now, everyone's going through hard times. We were talking about it earlier, how everything's so expensive. people are taking losses. Like one thing, like once you take a loss, bro, you like. I see a lot of my friends trying to give up, whether it's their hustle they're doing, whether it's their job. Like, you can't give up, man. You got to keep going, keep striving to be better and shit. Cause after losses comes the blessings. You know, there's so much hard days you're gonna have in life, but the good days are coming. So like you know, just don't give up. Whatever you're doing, if you're watching this, whatever you're focused on, don't give up on your dream yet. You know, because once you actually accomplish it, it's gonna be so worth it. When you're able to provide for your family and give them a better life than you ever had, it's going to be worth it. So just, you know, keep going and shit. Because I have those days when I want to give up. I'm like, fuck, man, this shit's getting too fucking hard, you know? I've been taking a lot of losses, especially in this dog game. I've taken a lot of losses. One of my dogs just died last week, and she was an expensive dog, a real expensive dog. And people would be like, oh, like my family was all telling me like, oh, like just stop her to get out of that game. Like, nah, hell no. Like, I'm not going to stop, you know? Like, I love this shit, you know? Like, I love this business and just all in aspects of life. Like, no matter how hard it gets, don't give up and shit. Keep going.
I think that's the key, though, is like giving, because it's like, it's all right to cry. It's all right to hurt. It's all right to grieve, to whatever it is that you're going through. Like, it's all right to go through it. But the key, I think, is like what you said, is like once some people go through it and they give up, you know, as to where others will go through it, the hurt, whatever, but they won't give up, bro, you know? Like, there's...
Facts.
You have to accept defeat to succeed.
Yep.
So.
Hey, facts.
Damn, you're killing it with these quotes right now. Shit, my
Say less. Say less.
We need a little horn or something for every quote just to
shit,
DJ.
DJ.
Nah, for sure though. That's fire, bro.
But yeah, I think that's the key, bro. It's like what you said, bro. It's like, you know, and I think it's what do you say? How do you say? It's like a blurred line, bro, that people don't know. Like, at what point am I supposed to give up, or how do you know when you have to keep fighting for something?
How hard
you know
does it have to get?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that's a blurred line because everybody goes through their own struggle, bro. Everybody goes through, like, something that might not be a big deal to you could be a big deal to someone else.
Or it's like where people they're like, why is it shit always happening to me? Why is it me? Or like, you know, like, I'm gonna bring in my car and it's like, oh fuck, like how come my car gets all these check engine lights when other people are like, fuck, I wish I had a car. I'm tired of freaking walking.
You're like, god damn, my Mercedes Benz got a check engine light.
And then, so you know what I'm saying? It's
it's crazy because like you think it's a struggle, you know. It's a beautiful struggle, though, you know. Yeah, it's a beautiful struggle. Like, you think you have it hard, you should see how other people have it, you know. Sir. Like you said with the car, like my car just fucking up right now. It's overheating and shit. But it's like, man, like you said, there's people that wish they had a car, you know. Yeah. Or out there walking, catching the bus, bro. Like, we have it good, you know. It's just a quick little fix. But there's people that don't even have enough money to go get themselves a car. So like, it's a beautiful struggle, you know. It's a blessing to even. It's a blessing. Like, some people complain about their houses, that they live in an apartment, that they live in the hood. Regardless, there's people out there living in the streets, you know. Like, I know people that live in the streets. Like you're blessed no matter where you are. Just count your blessings, pray to God, and just, if you're going through these hard times, just pray for better times, and they're gonna eventually come, you know. And someone has it harder than you for sure.
Yeah. A little sidetrack. Like, at my old job, there was a bus stop, and then something happened where I think we only had one car, or my car broke down. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take the bus. I'm like, because in Mexico, I used to ride the bus. We used to ride bus, man. Like, I'm gonna say, like, we were broke. Yeah. I mean, broke as in like money. Money was tight back in Mexico for my mom, because it was just her pretty much and then because my dad was here working, sending money back and forth or whatever. So we didn't have a car. We could barely eat or whatever. That's how I remember it. But it was busway. Yeah. I didn't know no car. I didn't know nothing about cars. So it's like, I could do the bus. What the fuck? I came from that. So I rode the busway. 3 hours, like, from like where I would drive a car. It would take me like 20 minutes. It would take me like 2 hours just to get home. And I'm like, you know what? And I was fine with it, because I was like, look, I came from this. Like, there's no way. Like, I cannot say, it's like, oh, I can't ride no bus. I'm like, I'm going to ride this fucking bus home. I don't care if it takes 2 hours.
And I think that's the problem, bro. Is like, a lot of people come here. A lot of people you know, they get to a point where they're like, oh, like, I'm not gonna ride the bus. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like,
It's like you too good for it or what?
Yeah, exactly. Some people
Too good for school?
You gotta fucking humble.
Cool?
You gotta humble yourself.
Oh shit,
sometimes,
I fucked
bro.
up it up too.
You know, you gotta humble yourself sometimes. And I feel like some people are like, they're so high up on their high horses that it's like, hey, sometimes you gotta step down off that high horse and remember you fucking, you know.
Yeah, for reals. And like, especially in the game that like I am, like a lot of people, like they make a little money. And they start feeling like they're in the clouds and they can't fall. But in this life, anyone can fall. You can trip over any rock and fall. So just stay humble, stay humble, stay hungry, and keep working hard because that's just a must in life, you know, to get better.
Yep.
And you can always keep growing and growing, you know. So just stay humble and shit.
And I'm gonna say what you said, you know, because it hit hard.
Yeah,
adapt or die.
Yep, adapt or die.
That's the environment.
Don't be scared.
I thought you were gonna hit us with another quote.
No,
I was waiting. I was
like, she's back to it back.
I was waiting for it. Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, this is struggles we went through. So
yeah, stay humble, everybody. Stay humble. Keep grinding. Stay hungry, and don't ever get too comfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because if you get too comfortable, then I don't know.
I stop moving, bro. You're chilling after that. You're just chilling. You ain't got.
And you also need that motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need
not
to stay
just
motivated.
yourself, but you know, from the people around you.
Yeah, and like that's one thing too. Like I said in a few of my videos and shit. Like if you have those negative people in your life that just drag you down, always complaining. Like if you do something good and they're like complaining about you, man, cut those people off, man. Like life's too short to be having negative people on in your circle. You know, if
they're cancerous people.
Yeah,
bro.
they are, bro. It's
Cancerous
like a little
people,
virus. That negativity is a virus. Like get rid of that shit. Like you don't need that type of stuff in your life, especially if you wanna improve it, you want to have a better life and shit. Like get all that negative shit out of your life. Like it's cool to be cool with those people. Like, hey, what's up and this and that, but get them out of your circle, man.
Yeah, because nowadays, like I feel like that's what there's a lot of, dude. Is a lot of hate, a lot of envy, and a lot of jealousy, and like there's a big difference between all that shit. But some people see it all the same. But like as to where someone's jealous of you, bro, you know what I mean? They want what you have, right? Yep. That they're jealous of. They want what you have and they want it for them. And like envy being like they don't want it. They don't care if they have it. They just don't want you to have it.
And that's dangerous.
I mean? Yeah, that's dangerous. Yeah, that's fucking dangerous.
You gotta watch
right
those
there.
people.
So like they don't want it, bro, but they just don't want you to have it. You know what I mean? And then there's people that just hate, which is like no matter how good you're doing or whatever, they always, like you said, got some negative shit to say, got a negative input. And like all those shits, like all those types of people, you gotta go.
Yeah. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, like sometimes you need that little hate, you know, that way they can motivate you. Use that shit as fucking gas, you know. Like, all right, you guys want to see like just that, like sometimes hate motivates me when they hate on me or my brand. Like it motivates me just to go even harder and shit. Like I'm not gonna let no one stop me, but I don't surround myself with people like that. Like I grew up from a fucking like hateful environment, you know, like everyone would hate on each other and like. Back in the day, I thought it was normal and shit because everyone would do it so much, especially like being a minority. Like, man, your own people hate on you so much, but it's not okay, you know. Like that shit, you got to cut it off, and you'll live way more better. Like if you're not around people like that.
All right, so
yeah, guys, I was just born and it was that big, bro. You know, I was blessed.
So I guess we'll stop that the Frenchies.
Yeah,
for now, and then we'll keep it going on the next video.
I felt like you gave us definitely a good look into that world. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And you know, we'll next session we'll dive deep into that.
Yeah, so everyone stay tuned on the next episode of Between the Podz. We're gonna dig deep more in the Frenchie world and all the breeding world. Might even bring out a special guest, and we'll do the whole episode. So anyone that's interested, make sure you guys follow Between the Podz.
Hey,
so I might bring a special guest for the next one.
Hey, bring the fluffy dog way.
Yeah, I might bring a dog out here too.
Hey, but if you like my boy right here, Stevie, I 5 Frenchies. Yeah, you know, he's already married, so ladies, he's taken already.
It's gonna show the tag. It's gonna show the tag right here, right?
So maybe if I want to see if
Frenchies.
Let's see if I got the skills, but yeah, man.
I got the skills to pay the bills.
I 5 Frenchies.
Yo. Hi everybody, but you know, I want to just give a shout out to, you know, Caesar, the host of the Between the Pods.
The main man himself.
For hosting this episode. My boy Jose right here. For letting us shoot it right here at his house. You know, I'm fucking doing spitting some fire-ass game.
Jameson?
El más pitudo.
But yeah, we're gonna be back next week with some more content. We're gonna dig deep in this Frenchie world and even talk about some other shit that's going on around here in the world. So make sure you guys stay tuned. You know, follow all three of us. Anything you guys want to say?
No, thank you for watching. Thank you if you're still watching. Thank you. And go ahead. What's up?
Shit, I still got some shit to say. No, just saying.
Oh, you know what?
Hey, we gonna talk a lot of shit. So.
I'm glad you got a lot to say because we're gonna keep it going on the next one. So Between the Pods.
Subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button.
Let's go, and then that's it.
And follow my boy on IG. Follow my boy on the Instagram. He just made a new one for the podcast at
yes, sir.
Between the Pods.
Yeah, we're gonna try to start posting more on the Podz page. So stay tuned for that.
Give it a like. Give it a follow. Don't be a hater.
No, let them hate. I want to see all the hate.
I need it. Need it as motivation.
Nah. Between the Pods, we out.
No mames, güey. Tengo bigote.